Vana Bharadwaj and Arunkumaran Pasupathi from Cognizant, and they would be talking about video engineering and OTT automation. Over to you guys.
Hi everyone, welcome to STC 2021. Myself Bharadwaj Vana, I am working with Cognizant as a technology specialist. Along with me, I have Arun Pasupathi, who is manager in delivery, and Sathish is our senior manager in delivery, working at Cognizant. Due to geo restrictions, Sathish could not make the call and he cannot join this session. And so today we will be presenting a solution for a video engineering and OTT automation, which we have developed in-house for one of our digital clients. So I let Arun to proceed with the remaining presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Vana. So, welcome everyone. To start off, right, I want to give an industry view before we go into our, solution. Right. So, everybody know that streaming service is one of the growing industry right now. Especially after this COVID impact, the services picked up so much, and it's growing at a rapid pace. Now, what happens when something is growing so much, right? So there will be a lot of players who will try to come in, and then they will have their own services developed, and then they will launch their services into the market. Okay, so as per one of the survey that was done by Market Intelligence, by 2026 the market will grow by 223 billion dollars. Okay, and this kind of puts this kind of money puts a lot of players, creates lots of players, and they start coming up with their own services. Now, when there are so many players available, right, so many digital streaming services available, it becomes very vital, to give a quality content and quality app so that the customers will be retained. Otherwise, they will just change the subscription and they will move on. Right. And now that this digital service streaming platforms, right? So they are like grown so much. It became one of the backbone and revenue driver for music and video industry right now. Okay, and any data, all these services, they depend mostly on all the users data so that they can give customized services to each and everyone. So what they do is they capture lots of video analytics, video analytics, and then they do heartbeat analysis analytics, and then they do ad analytics. So to understand the whole behavior, like what customers likes, to profile their customers, and when they're closing, what exactly they are doing, when they are passing the content, when they are playing the content. So all those things are kind of included. I mean, has to be tracked, so that they can give them a best viewing experience. Okay, so now that the streaming industry is growing, right? So they want to connect with their customer in any way possible. So earlier we had only a web browser where I remember going to YouTube and playing a content from my from my browser, and then came the mobiles, wherein like they started having apps, and now we have like so many devices that are available right now. So I have a Roku TV. I connected to my TVs, and then I play whatever content I want. And then came like apps within these TVs itself. For example, I have Samsung has its own library called as Tizen. LG has their own line called as WebOS, and then Vizio has its own lineup. So like the TV itself is coming in, and then the new addition to that is X Class TV, which is part of direct to customers from Comcast. So what happens is they are directly delivering their product to the customers, either in either as part of a website, or as a mobile app, or apps in a TV, or through some other casting services, or some other TV components, IPTVs. Right. So what happens is, as part of QA, right? So we have to make sure the video content or customer experience is up to the mark, as well as we have to make sure all the right data is captured from the user, from the users or apps, or from wherever they are streaming. right? So it becomes imperative, to have the correct data being captured, so that like we can customize our plans and move, come up with new ideas, for streaming purposes, right? And if there is any kind of a delay, for example, if I'm watching a content and the content is not very clear, or it's buffering for long, or I'm not liking the way the app is designed, it's very complicated. So even these kind of things also will kind of make the customers move away. And in a market like current situation, like having a lot of subscribers is what going to generate revenues. And most of the services relies on ad based revenue, because free subscription is one of the famous ones everywhere. Right. Now, from QA perspective, what we need to do? Okay. So first thing is we have to make sure, the UI navigations, everything is proper, like how we do it in every other place. So we have to make sure, our UI is not broken and we have links everywhere. Okay. So that is part one. And then second thing, what we need to do is we need to validate whether the content is playing properly. If we change in our network, is it playing properly, or if I change from mobile device to my TV, whether it is starting at the same point and proceeding from there. And then we have to make sure, like ads are correctly integrated to that, so that like customer should not face any issues during ad playback as well. And on top of that, we have to make sure whether the analytics are fired based on user interactions, or based on schedule, as part of our requirements. Right. Now, we have like traditional automation solutions. Let's say we have Selenium, we have UFT, and to name couple. Okay. So everything works mostly on our UI level, like whether this particular element is present or that element is present, whether this value is coming correctly. So all those things we can make sure. But when it comes to video playback, or validating the network logs for analytics, all the for these kind of things, right? We don't have any solutions that is openly available in the market. Okay. And as of now, most of the automation is being done only at browser and mobile level, and we don't have any kind of not many solutions are available for testing OTT devices and smart TVs, right? And on top of this, right, um, so on top of this, we have to make sure whether the analytics are generated properly, and then the correct data is sent to all the analytics server, to make sure that, right. So that is something very new, and it was not done, by many people at this point. So especially from OTT devices, capturing all the analytics call is something that it hasn't been done so far. So what we did is, from Cognizant, we came up with a solution. So what we have done is we took our automation framework, okay, so and integrated it with right. So what we did is, for capturing analytic calls from our web and mobile platforms, right? What we did is we came up with a proxy, which is an open source one, and then integrated that with our Cognizant in-house proxy. Okay. And with that, we were able to capture all the analytics that that kind of comes from our device, as well as coming from the server to the device. Okay. And that solution was working fine for us until, like, when the streaming service, right, it became famous, and they want to move it to OTT devices. So we didn't had any kind of a solution available for that. So what we did is we came up with a reusable solution that can interact with all the devices that our solution will be pushed to. Okay. So any device we connect or we install our app, right, that needs to be tested. So be it Roku or Xbox, PS4, smart TVs, X Class, Vizio, Hisense, Vida, so whatever it is. Okay. So we should be able to control that TV, so that, like, we will be performing the all the operations. There might be some questions like why we need to control the TVs. We can just inject some kind of a JavaScript into it, and then that will kind of control all the operations, all the operations that as an automation team we need to do, right? So the reason why we wanted to imitate or control the TVs or any OTT devices, we wanted to replicate how the user will actually interact with the TV. For example, if I'm sitting in front of a TV, I will not be running any JavaScript. I'll be like pressing a button in my remote, and I expect things to move. Okay, so that's what I'll be that's what we were targeting to achieve as part of this solution. So what we did is we kind of developed a solution from on top of our framework, and then which connects with all the devices. Okay, all the devices that are available in our network, and then it imitates the remote operations from every user. Okay, now that way we were able to achieve all we were able to perform all kind of navigations within the app. Okay, so if I want to select something like sports content, I am able to select it, and then if I want to search for something, I'm able to search for it. Okay, now next question came for us is like I'm able to control the remote. How do I know like which particular section or particular content I have selected properly? Right. So that was another challenge for us, because like there were some options available in the market, for continuously monitoring what's happening in the TVs. Okay, but for few of the TVs, for example, Samsung TVs or Vizio TVs, right, we don't have any option. So what we did is we kind of came up with a solution there, and we developed custom solutions for each devices that we have. Okay, so it's not one solution that works everywhere. So we had to come up with one solution for each of our devices. Okay, so we came up with a solution for that, which will monitor the entire playback as long as I'm connected to that Wi-Fi network, right, or to that particular laptop, or to my server. So it will keep on monitoring whatever is being displayed. For example, if it is a Fire TV, it will monitor everything that is being displayed in that Fire TV. Same is the case for any TVs that we have, any OTT devices we have. Right. So we built a using machine learning algorithms. We came up with we built one artificial intelligence, and then for validating whether correct image is selected or correct asset is selected. So we were doing that kind of validations. I mean, our library was doing that kind of operations, and then it gives a result back, like whether it is true or not. So what we used is, one is MI based libraries, and another one is OCR for reading all the text from them. Okay, so now we are able to see what is happening. And next thing, so the UI part is completed for us. The next thing what we had to do was, we have to do video playback. We have to validate whether the video is playing properly or not. So there were like a lot of lot of tools available for that, but then we were looking to use only the open source algorithms and machine learning options. So what we did is, we went with one of the GStreamer library that's available from Google. So we just implemented that in our local server, and then we started monitoring for everything that's coming out of our TVs. Okay, so we were monitoring it for like whether there is how many times the video is buffering, or if there is any gap between video playback, if the content is transitioning smoothly between video and ad, and then between ads, if the content is playing smoothly. So all those things, right, we were able to achieve using that. Okay, so once we are done with our actual automation, we wanted to show a proper report, like where it can be accessed by all the stakeholders. So we were trying to send it over email, the execution automation execution report. Whereas, like, since this involves a lot of images and everything, right, so the file size became very huge, and we were not able to send it. So what we did is, we went to our board, and we were thinking about it, and later on we came up with a solution where, like, we have a AI supported reporting service API which is available. So we integrated our framework on top of that. So it will automatically validate any failures in our report generation. And it kind of like it classifies the defects and gives us a final report, like these are the known defects, these are system defects, or this is like something wrong with your automation script, or so all kind of things are kind of classified, and then we were getting a final output. Okay. Now, I was talking about analytics call, right? So what we did was, so whatever analytics that we capture, so what we did is we kind of exported it into one of the AWS servers that we had. So what it will do is, so it has a API. Okay. So whatever file we are uploading or whatever network logs we are uploading, it will validate that complete data in that analytics, and it start giving output in the in a HTML format and puts it in our reporting dashboard. Okay. So it validates the all the analytics fired is correct and is matching with our business requirements. Okay. The reason why we put it in a clouded AWS cloud is we wanted to make use of that API for whoever is doing functional testing, uh, so that like they can capture it manually wherever they want to do it, and then validate it. Also, like the service can be easily extended for any kind of analytics that are currently available in the market. Okay, so be it Adobe or from Google Ads or whatever it is, right? So the service can be extended, and whoever wants to validate their analytics, they can just upload it into their API, and then they can get their report back. Okay, so that's the main reason like why we kind of kept our web service, our analytics validation in a clouded server. Okay, so moving on to next one, right? So since we achieved this, right? So what exactly does it make sure? What exactly we are getting out of it, right? So what's happening is, first and foremost is I'm doing end-to-end certification of my app across all the OTT devices, browsers, and then mobiles. Okay, so before this COVID, what we did is we had a kind of a lab for our mobiles alone, and then we were doing CA setup on top of that. Okay, now after COVID, we kind of everyone is distributed and have their devices at their place for all the testing and all. So what we are doing is we are building a lab again right now. Now that offices are opening, right? So we are building a lab wherein like all our mobiles as well as our OTT devices will be connected, and all the executions that we have to perform, right? Everything will be run in an automated way. Okay, so everything will be connected to CI/CD setup and in a DevOps CI/CD platform, and everything will be automatically triggered as and when a build is given. So, so what are the things we will be validating, right? So, first thing is the UI part of our digital streaming service, and then where the video playback, analytics, and then few of the user interactions like pause, play, forward, rewind, those kind of actions from users, and then add playback, and then we will do video analytics as well. From video player, right? So we'll be validating the metadata and then analytics that is sent from our video player as well. Right. So second one is this is built on top of our. This solution can be built on top of any framework that are available in the market. Okay, it's not like we have to rely on any one framework, or we have to use the same framework every time. Okay, so what happened is since this is so scalable, this can be integrated with our integrated with any CI tool. We started off with Jenkins for continuous testing. And then we are looking at other solutions at this point. So we can integrate it with any tools that any CI/CD tool that we want to make use of. Okay. And also on top of that, we were using Sonar Cube for checking for code vulnerability in our in our platform. And then we have hosted our analytics validation within AWS, right? That means like it can be extended to it can be used by any of our quality engineering resources that are working on any of the streaming services, actually. Right. And finally, the report is kind of, analyzed automatically. So that kind of reduce the effort that we have to spend, on analyzing the failures and, coming, doing a root cause analysis. So half of the time is kind of reduced because my AI or ML platform will take care of that. Okay. Now, so the main advantage we have is, so usually we will see frameworks, also tools that are available, right? It kind of validates whether the UI or API part of it, but there is no solution that's available that kind of validates the UI part of it, the video playback part of it, and then the analytics part, and then gives us any kind of confirmation what exactly happened. Did the video play fully, or are we facing any issues during the playback? So we don't have any solution. So this kind of this the solution we developed, it kind of combines everything into one framework, and then that can be extended for any streaming services that we want to use it for. Okay, so right now, like we are using JVM for our sorry, Java for our development, but this can be extended to any other popular languages as well, like Python, C Sharp, or whatever it is. Okay. So as I said, like our web services performs video analytics validations, but the same can perform other analytics validation as well, and it can be reused by anyone who has access to the AWS server, right? And then any issues with video playback, right? So that section of that small video clip will be captured, and it will be attached to our report portal, like report portal library, wherein, like anyone can go there and see if there is any blackout or any buffering that's happening over there. Okay. And since we implemented the solutions, right, these are the savings that we got for each of our uh, across our project. Okay. So first thing what we have done with this, because of this automation solution, right, we have reduced our cycle time by 70%. And then overall effort, like like installing it and then manually checking sanity, regression, all those things, right? So everything was reduced by 40%. And since we used all open source solutions, like there are no license costs involved. And as of now, for our client, right, we are saving about $1 million per quarter. Okay, only on regression testing. So we have to test it around test our streaming service across 15 different apps, and all the apps gets their own build regression build with 1 or 2 days timelines. Okay, so we were able to achieve everything using this automation framework, right? So what's this? Right. Now, so as I was talking about CI/CD setup, right? So this solution can be integrated with our DevOps model, wherein, like, whenever we can start early as requirement gathering, and then as and when the build is available for our testing, right, it will be loaded to Jenkins, and then Jenkins will start running our automation scripts, and then it will generate the report, which will be stored into our AI based library, right? So because of this, right, so we were able to achieve full continuous executions, and then we are able to work along with our developers. So so this kind of helps us with improve our process and reduce time to market and everything. Okay. So so any questions? We are open for questions now.